Thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebrity, brought to you by Celebrity.com. This week, we talk about the royals and Elon Musk. We end with our weekly feature, The Comments of the Week. The stories, photos, and tweets we talk about can be found at Celebrity.com/podcast under episode 139. Hi, I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebrity.com, and I write as Celebrity.
And I'm Chandra, I'm the head writer for Celebrity, and I write as Kaiser.
So we're going to have one more episode next week, and then we'll be off November 20th and November 27th because it's Thanksgiving in America.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a few episodes in December, and then God knows.
I wrote it on the calendar. Let's see. I think we're doing 3 episodes in December and then 2 weeks off again. So it'll work out with the holidays and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I just looked at it. So there's not a lot going on with me. I got the dog a treadmill.
Like a real treadmill? That's what I was wondering.
A dog treadmill. I put it at the top of the Amazon post today. It's like a smaller treadmill. And he likes it. He keeps going on it because I fed him chicken on it. And he keeps wanting to eat. He every time he passes it, he gets on it. And he's like, give me some treats.
I'm kind of wondering if Remy is more of a couch dog. But
I mean, we walk a lot. We do 6 or more miles a day, and he does great. And he's very energetic, so I'm trying to wear him out. Yeah, at least now when he's little, because he will, try to nip me. But he stopped doing that as much.
Yeah, I just kind of wonder if he would sometimes just prefer to eat chicken on the couch.
He doesn't go on the couch, and the couch is not for dogs.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Other than that, I'm going to get the flu shot Sunday. I was reading FeatherDuk's story about the flu being really bad this year, so I was like, I better get that flu shot. I got the bivalent booster a couple weeks ago, but I didn't get them at the same time. You got them at the same time, didn't you?
I got a flu shot first, and then the next week I got the bivalent booster.
Oh, okay.
It was fine. Like, my arm was sore, like always, like with every vaccine. And I was a little bit tired, a little bit zoned out, and that was it.
From the flu shot, you were zoned out?
From everything. I think from the bivalent booster as well.
Yeah.
I was just kind of zoned out.
That knocked me out. Yeah, but not as bad as the other boosters.
Yeah. One of the COVID vaccines that I got, I felt like I was floating.
I like that feeling. It's like a body high with it. It's really weird.
I was real tired with one of the second shot or something. I forget which it was. Yeah, the flu shots, they always just make me a little bit tired, feeling a little bit punky for a few days, and that's it.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I didn't want to avoid it this year because the flu is supposed to be really bad, even though they wear a mask a lot of times, but not all times. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and every year they'd scare people by saying, this year it's going to be really bad. And I mean, usually, most years it is really bad.
Yeah, it's been bad too with the RSV for the kids. They say that's terrible this year.
Yeah, and I just feel like, it's usually free to get a flu shot. Just go in and get one.
Yeah.
Just in general, people should just go in and get one.
Yeah, I agree. So you watched Top Gun. Finally. Is it free? Or do you have to pay for it?
I just rented it on Vudu.
Oh, okay. I saw it in the theater. I liked it. It was fun.
I understand why people wanted to see it in the theater because the visuals were stunning.
Yeah.
But I wasn't about to go into the theater to watch fucking Top Gun. But I actually enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the plot. I did not enjoy the love story. You did, though.
Well, I really liked that it was between the older people.
Yeah, it was age appropriate.
Yeah, and the love interest was age appropriate too.
Yeah, it was.
They could have done more with the kids and they didn't. I like that.
Yeah, I kept waiting for a subplot of the one girl pilot, having like a love triangle or something.
Nope.
But I'm glad that they didn't do that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I thought Miles Teller was okay in it.
Yeah, he's just a bro. I don't get his appeal, really.
I thought the mustache was a real choice.
It was.
But Tom was good. It's sort of eerie now how he still looks the same.
I wonder if they did some CGI on his face for that. I bet they did.
They could have. But, he just looks so otherworldly smooth.
Yeah.
It's very good plastic surgery. And, you can't really see, like, the telltale, like, surgery lines or Botox. It's very good work.
Yeah, he got good work done.
But I liked the plot. I thought it was very 80s. It was very retro.
Yeah, it's fun.
They never even mentioned the country that they were going into with the uranium. It was hilarious.
It's like a video game, the whole thing.
And I watched Nope, which I really enjoyed.
I'm surprised you saw that. You don't like horror.
It was fine. I can do okay with aliens. I have trouble with, like, stories with ghosts and, like, the Insidious movies. I cannot do any of those.
Yeah, those are scary. I like them, though. I went to a haunted house this year that had one of those tubes you had to walk through, like, that's in Nope at the end where it sucks people up through that inflated tube. But I realized that if I put my arms out, it was like not inflated that wide, so we got through it fine and it didn't bother me. I had been in a haunted house a few years ago that was tight and that scared the shit out of me. I hated that, but this was fine. But yeah, I liked Nope. I thought it was really good. I was looking at the sky and getting scared later.
Oh, I wasn't. I didn't feel that way at all. It didn't freak me out that much. Jordan Peele's movies really don't freak me out. But then again, I did have to fast forward through Us a few times.
Us was scary.
Yeah, there were some real scary moments there and they freaked me out. But I just fast forwarded and it was fine. But yeah, I liked Nope. I loved Keke Palmer.
She's good. Yeah, I can't believe how young she is. Like, I would think she's older just like by how accomplished she is at acting and running stuff.
She was great. And that Brandon Perea, is that how you say his name? He was great.
Oh, yeah, the guy who worked at Best Buy. I liked him too. It was a good show.
I love that Jordan Peele is becoming Black America's Alfred Hitchcock.
He's America's Alfred Hitchcock too. Like, everybody loves him. And it's destination. Like, we gotta go see the Jordan Peele movie,
Yeah. And like Hitchcock, Jordan Peele has a quirky vision. It's not all like, oh, these are widespread terrors that everyone has. Like, he has a very quirky vision. And I like that.
And I like the thoughtfulness in his movies and the parallels. And you're like, oh, I remember that from earlier in the movie. And
it's very smart. And he's such a unique filmmaker. I'm just so proud that he has this career now after years spent in comedy and sketch comedy. And he's this brilliant horror director now. It's awesome.
It's excellent. I gotta watch his Twilight Zone remake. That's on my list. So let's talk about the royals. We have The Crown coming out next week before we record, so we'll be able to talk about that. It's exciting. And we got a new video today with the cast and some clips from the upcoming season.
It looks good. They actually showed a clip of Diana's Panorama interview. And Elizabeth Debicki, she just looks like she's killing it.
She nails it.
She's doing the voice perfectly. And so is Imelda Staunton. I had kind of mixed feelings about Imelda Staunton as the queen, but she's doing the voice really well. And I think she's doing like exasperated, doesn't know what's happening in the 90s kind of queen energy. That's good.
She's got that down. And yeah, the palace is still freaking out ahead of it. They're just Streisand affecting it, which is awesome. And there was this article in the Daily Mail that you covered saying that the Crown is going to mock the royals and that they show Charles as devious, impatient, resentful, devoid of self-awareness. I mean, we saw him getting mad at the pens.
Everyone replied to that so it's a documentary, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I liked your intro to that story because you said even more than the free publicity, the commentators are making the Crown sound like the most epic royal takedown ever.
Seriously. You couldn't say that Peter Morgan has soft pedaled a lot of stuff with the Windsors. And he probably should have gone harder, especially last season with the introduction of Diana. But like the way that Buckingham Palace has gone after the Crown, they really are making it sound like, oh my God, this is going to bring down the monarchy. And that makes people want to watch it more. Yeah,
they're really hyping it for Netflix. Netflix isn't backing down. They're like, good. And we heard that the tampon phone call is going to be in the next season. And Dominic West, he plays Charles, and he's like, oh, it's going to be sympathetic to them. It's like lovers banter. And come on, it's ridiculous. Like, nobody says that. It's outrageous.
And it's not just pure sex talk, as gross as that would be. Like,
sex
talk about tampons.
I know.
It's Charles feeling sorry for himself and wishing that he could be a tampon so he could get away from his own oppressive life.
How do you even think of that? Like, that's just... It requires a lack of understanding of, like, female health issues. You know, not that having our period is an issue, but, like, it's not at all appealing. It's kind of gross. Whatever.
Yeah.
So we're still hearing about Harry's memoir, although now they're like freaking out about the crown. So that's kind of died down a little bit. And Charles appointed himself Captain General of the Royal Marines. Like, just some petty shit he did. Like, that was what Harry used to be. And Prince Philip was that Captain General before Harry. And he made a statement about it, but he totally omitted the fact that both of them were...
Yeah, both Harry and Philip were Captain General.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the omission of Harry and Philip was telling and petty on Charles's side. Charles was probably always going to name himself the Captain General. That was probably always going to happen. And it was timed specifically for like an anniversary of the Royal Marines.
Oh, okay. I wondered why that was at that time.
But the whole statement, which left out Philip and Harry, and the energy behind the statement, that was directed. That was
pointed.
Yeah, pointed at Harry. Just like all of the shit during the funeral was pointed at Harry. You know, like, oh, you're invited. No, you're not invited. You can't wear a uniform. Yes, you can wear a uniform.
The Queen's initials are going to be off the uniform. You know, like bullshit, yeah.
It's just petty bullshit of Charles trying to show Harry that, you know, he can still wound Harry. He can still hurt Harry somehow. And Harry is just like, Jesus Christ, Dad. Will you let it go?
And they're saying that they're worried about the book tour and the promotion for that. So why are you keep needling Harry? Like, if you're worried about it, leave him alone.
Well, they're just desperate to pull Harry into every story now. And, like, I haven't covered it, but during all of the Crown hissy fits, they've been bringing Harry into it. Like, there are all these people and saying, like, how dare Harry continue to take money from Netflix while the Crown is doing all of this stuff. It's all been said before. It's not going to change. Just let it go.
Exactly.
As for, like, the promotion, I doubt that Harry will even go to London or to the UK to promote the book. And it's just them desperate to include him in all of the storylines of what's going to happen if he does show up.
He doesn't have to lift a finger to promote that book. Everybody is going to buy it. Like, it's going to be a huge bestseller.
It's already #1 on all the pre-sale lists.
Yeah, right. I was looking at the Amazon list, like what we sell on Amazon, because it tells us the products that sell. And Spare, I was like, what's Spare? Oh, it's Harry's book. It's like up in our top sales on Amazon. So Meghan's podcast this week was about wives and mothers, and it was like the good wife, bad wife, good mom, bad mom trope. And it featured Pamela Adlon, Sam Jay, and Sophie Trudeau, the First Lady of Canada. I liked Pamela Adlon's talk because I really related to that as a single mom. Like, I can't imagine 3 kids, but it sounds like her mother helps her out. Or she did when her kids were young. And it kind of also showed, like, how much people like Meghan and how she immediately, like, connects with people.
Yeah, every podcast or every episode has gotten better as far as, like, Meghan being more conversational.
Yeah.
Being warmer, being more natural as she's interviewing and having conversations with people. She's really hit her stride. That being said, I wasn't as into this week's episode. I just didn't relate to it at all. I was just like, yeah.
Because you're child free and, like, you got a good life. I had to go get a dog, like, after my kid left for college, because I'm not used to just taking care of myself, you know?
Yeah.
That's a different kind of lifestyle than you have. Like, you know, a lot of women are jealous of you.
Yeah, and I'm happier this way.
Yeah, you know that about yourself,
Especially now with the mindset I have now, I couldn't compromise enough to be a mom or
Yeah.
to be in a long-term relationship. I would have killed him. Like, I was like, if you do that one more goddamn time,
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of personality.
Yeah, that's good. You know that about yourself,
And I guess that was my reaction to Meghan and like this, I guess the mom guilt and the angst about am I a good enough wife? I was just like, at some point, at some age, I hope that women just kind of get over that.
It took me until the past 5 years to really understand that. This episode did resonate with me a lot. And it only was when I was in my 40s that I was like, oh, okay, I'm great. I can do what I want. I don't have to give a shit about other people. It took me a long, long time. I mean, I do care for my son and take care of him and,
No, I understand what you mean. But the whole thing of Meghan's conversation was that women feel the need to like strive for perfection.
Yeah, I have that really bad. And that's part of the reason why I drank.
Yeah, and that they crave the acceptance and that they're comparing themselves to other mothers and other wives and why isn't my marriage like that? And it was kind of depressing to me. I'm like, God, I hope a lot of women outgrow that shit.
It takes a long time and a lot of work, a lot of like self-work, like, because I really was like that. And I am in a way still too. I'm an overachiever. I'm a perfectionist. I want things to be a certain way. And it's hard for me to just be me and just be happy. But I'm getting there,
Yeah. And I think that's what I didn't relate to because as a single woman, as a child-free woman, I made my peace with all of that shit a long time ago.
That's awesome. Good for you. Like,
and I'm like, I am who I am. If you don't like me, fuck off,
Yeah. I'm only gradually getting there, but yeah. So we had like that royal commentator Tom Bauer saying like really unhinged shit about Meghan that no one challenged him on. He said that Meghan wrote Harry's memoir pretty much. And quote, it's Meghan I'm after. His book is really Meghan's. Meghan is the person who has dictated this agenda. And that's the thing that the British press has been, pushing, is that Meghan is this mastermind. I don't know. It's ludicrous.
It is ludicrous. And they did stop for a while because Harry had made it repeatedly clear that this was his voice and that he was saying all of this shit with his whole chest. Especially the Oprah interview where Meghan was being so conciliatory and diplomatic and Harry comes in halfway through the interview and he's like, well, here's what fucking happened.
Right. She's tempering him probably. He probably want to say more shit than he has.
And like, no, Meghan did not write Harry's book, but like the larger part of Tom Bauer's whole thing is that he believes that they should have the Sussex titles taken away. And he was saying Prince Harry can keep his prince title. Meghan is the one I'm after. So he wants her thrown out of the family and stripped of her title. And
so stupid. And
really what he's saying is he wants to see them divorced. He wants to see Meghan and Harry apart, Meghan living in America, titleless, penniless, and Harry back in the UK.
Yeah, and this is the kind of nefarious plot they've been having against her, since she married Harry, but more since she had a baby and they tried to take her name off the baby's birth certificate.
Exactly. That was 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago.
The stuff they do to her is outrageous.
Yeah, and the entire goal has always been send Meghan back to America all by herself or with the children. And we'll have Harry. Let's bring Harry back. But we have to separate them. Meghan has to be in America. She cannot be in Britain. It sucks.
So in the podcast this week, she was calling Harry her husband. She's like, my husband did this. This is cute, right?
Yeah.
This is what you do. And then Meghan Kelly was like taking offense to that. And she said, we get it. You bagged the gorilla. Congratulations. You got the big bear. Now, the gorilla comment is a fucking choice. It's a racist choice.
It's a racist choice.
Oh.
And did you see that TikTok series from the women who are analyzing Bethany Frankel and like Bethany Frankel's unhinged hatred for Meghan?
No, I didn't.
There was this one woman, a young woman, and she was like, I hate to say it because it's, misogynistic and I hate to adopt this kind of language, but it's giving bitter hag. And so I used that. I didn't credit her.
Hag. I like that. She's done a lot of racist shit. Like, she had a whole tweet series that I covered where she complained that people were speaking Spanish at Target. Like, she was mad that the people who worked there were speaking Spanish. Like, come on.
And Bethany is on TikTok a lot now, and it was probably last month or maybe September. She made several TikToks, and they were all about Meghan and how much she hated Meghan and how much, like, Meghan was doing everything wrong. And, like, the TikTok community, like, came together to call Bethany a bitter hag, basically.
She is. She is.
It was great.
So we saw Kate and William doing stuff this week. It's been over 2.5 weeks since they did anything. Like, they told us they were taking time off because their kids had a break, and they certainly did take time off.
William it was 3 weeks in between Kate's public events for Kate, especially. William did make appearances earlier this week, but Kate, 3 whole weeks with nothing.
Yeah, 18 days or something. But yeah, it was a long time. Like, but she made a phone call and wrote a letter or something.
She signed a letter. She signed a letter. She made one phone call and she took a meeting. And those were 3 events on her schedule for one day. Okay. She was exhausted. Okay.
She did that Addiction Awareness Week video.
Yeah, but we don't even know when that was filmed.
Yeah, she might have filmed it before her vacation. William went to that Tusk Conservation Awards, and then he did some other events for like a filmmaking event.
Yeah, a Royal Africa Film Festival.
And a Nigerian filmmaker like made multiple references to Netflix to him. Like, just to fucking troll him. It was awesome.
She knew what she was doing too. Apparently, after they talked, she like shouted across the room, "Netflix, remember?"
Yeah, she told him to Netflix and chill, and she said it again, like, watch Netflix. Haha.
Well, to be fair, her new movie is on Netflix, so she was trying to get him to
to
say that he would watch her movie. But yeah, she did it on purpose of like, remember, Netflix.
And then Kate and William did events in Scarborough today. They're around mental health or something. And we got an article how they're not ignoring the cost of living crisis. And they're, like, who knows what they're doing? Like, at least they're doing some stuff, but it's unclear what that entails, or if they're just raising awareness that these charities need money, or if they're actually going to help them.
What's weird is that, so the piece about the cost of living crisis and Will and Kate's awareness of it, that was a preview of their trip to Scarborough. The Sky News reporter, she obviously got briefed by Kensington Palace about how, this is all connected, and yes, they're going to Scarborough for like a mental health and a youth group or organization.
Yeah.
And it's also about the cost of living crisis. And like, pick a struggle. Like, what are you actually focusing on? It isn't actually all connected. You live in 5 homes. If you want to work on the cost of living crisis, work on it. Don't just say, oh, you're keen to work on it.
I mean, that's how they do things. They don't really put any substance into it.
No, they don't.
There's like a survey. Oh, they know some stuff from the survey.
And that's all Kate's early years stuff is just she's keen about early years. She wants to raise awareness that the early years are important. End of story.
She started that whole center. Come on.
And the center is just for raising awareness that the early years are important.
Okay, they are important. What good work she's doing. So we talked about the Royals on Zoom, and this is Karen, Zakiya, and Amira.
I could see it being a bestseller there. It's just globally it's going to be a bestseller because everybody wants to know that story.
Even the people who hate Harry and Meghan and don't like them, they're going to buy it.
They're going to buy the book.
They're going to read it. They're going to listen to the audio book.
Just like they listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Her haters are her fans. They're stands.
Exactly. They are actually looking out for accounts and things said about Meghan to be mean about it, where I couldn't care less about Kate. I laugh at her buttons and her little wiglets and, botched Botox. I'm not going looking for her to say something. I don't care. And that's where it seems like they get their wires twisted.
So yeah, they have haters who put so much energy and effort into them that they just give them more attention. And I was remembering how Meghan was saying she loves the song Cozy. She picked that song on purpose because, you know, the lines in there, she's comfortable in her skin. They hate her because they want her. You know, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she does. I thought Kate looked like crap today at her event.
Oh, in the camel outfit?
Yeah, like wall-to-wall beige. And like she was so obviously trying to copy Meghan's whole style and energy.
Yeah.
It just falls flat. I don't understand
She's like
why...
a copy of a copy of a copy.
Everything about Kate's style these days is inspired by Meghan, quote unquote. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, she could do worse than she has. She has done worse when she's copying her dead mother-in-law.
That's true. I kind of wonder if we're going to see a revival of Diana cosplay after The Crown comes out. Do you think?
It's fine. That's her, you know, comfort style.
I guess.
All right, let's talk about Elon Musk. We haven't covered Elon Musk on the podcast. Like, we made fun of him in May in the comment of the week when he failed in his bid to buy Twitter, but unfortunately that happened and he bought Twitter.
Well, yeah, he borrowed the money to buy Twitter. I think he's got it on layaway. I do. I don't think he actually ponied up $44 billion all in one lump sum payment.
He borrowed it from Saudis, right?
Saudis, weird Republican or, you know, far hard right people. I think Peter Thiel is sort of involved somewhere.
I hate that guy.
Yeah. We can't talk about him because he'll sue us.
So when Musk walked into the Twitter office, he brought a sink with him. It was so fucking stupid. It was like, let that sink in or something. Like, how does he think that's a
Apparently it's a
stunt?
QAnon thing. That's what someone said. It's like some sort of bat signal for QAnon conspiracies.
Okay, that's worse.
It is.
And he fired the board. He fired the management team. He lifted all the restrictions on hate speech. The N-word usage has gone up 500%. And he wants to charge a monthly subscription for blue checkmarks, which was originally $20, which he changed to $8.
And he changed it to $8 in the middle of a tweet session with Stephen King, because Stephen King said, fuck that. And Elon Musk butted in, and he was like, how about $8?
He's so, oh my gosh. He's not even good at Twitter. Like,
and that's the whole reason he bought it, because he desperately wants clout. And he desperately wants to be cool.
The only way he's going to get it from his little bot boys.
And even his bot boys, like, he's not happy with them, just them, because he knows ultimately that they're just idiots.
To do well on Twitter, you have to be smart and clever. And he's neither.
I think it's funny that Twitter is now a Nazi hell site, but so many people are staying on just to dunk on Elon and like make fun of him. And
yeah. And the advertisers are pulling out. So his investment was losing money immediately.
I was reading this analysis of where Twitter makes its money and how much companies spend on advertising on Twitter. Yeah. And the advertising budget for the average Fortune 500 company, they're not spending that much to advertise on Twitter. So it's very easy for them to pull that money and put it elsewhere.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why there isn't a lot of angst about, oh, we're going to pull our ads from Twitter. They're like, yeah, we can do that. It's easy
like,
peasy.
Bye, see ya.
But on the other hand, Twitter's profits, like 90% of their profit comes from advertising.
So it's easy for the companies to pull out, but it's painful for Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And for Musk.
And it's especially painful for Musk because he's so over leveraged now. He's borrowed so much money. He's going to have to make like $1 billion payments every year. He's not going to make that kind of money on Twitter, especially since he's crashing it.
That's awesome. So we talked about this on Zoom, and this is Zakiya, Amira, and Karen.
He was talking a lot of game. He was going to reinstate Trump. And then 14 corporations said that they were going to freeze their advertisement with Twitter. And then the media group, I guess, that is in charge of it had all their clients pull their advertising, So then that's when he said, I'm going to put up an advisory board to review for people that have been locked out if they can be reinstated. So that's why he changed that tune.
And then the whole $20, and then Stephen King was like, I'm done. Like when he said, I'm like done like Enron, and they were like, he was like, what about
$8? So now he's charging
$8. Just get owned by Stephen King, just saying he don't want to be here no more. The audacity of the Elon stance to come under Stephen King's tweets and be like, you're not even relevant. Twitter made you relevant.
So yeah, like all Musk has are his little stands there. He can't hold his own on Twitter, and he's looking like a tool.
To be fair, he always looked like a tool.
Yeah.
And now he's just the tool who runs Twitter, and he's running it into the ground, and everyone's laughing at him. And that must be so painful for him.
Good.
I don't feel bad for him. I mean,
Yeah.
I acknowledge that it must be painful for him that he's crashing Tesla, crashing Twitter. He's over leveraged. He's broke ass. He's borrowed all this fucking money, and no one thinks he's funny or cool. It's awesome.
It is. All right, let's move on to the comments of the week. So I want to thank Leanne, she's a dog obsessed girl, for the nice text that she sent saying she loves hearing about my dog. So thank you, Leanne. And her dogs are Atticus and Dune, and she has a cat named Pookie. So I just want to give a shout out to her.
That's nice.
Yeah. So my comment of the week is on the post about Kanye blowing through his money. And FeatherDuk wrote, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't feel sorry for him one bit. His comeuppance is long overdue. Remember when he said slavery is a choice? He should have lost his deals right then."
I agree. He should have lost everything circa 2018.
Yep.
If not before then, but definitely around 2018. The fact that it's 2022 and we're only finding out right now about all of this anti-Semitic bullshit.
Yeah, like a lot of people
It's
covered
crazy.
up for his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My comment of the week is from Princess Kate. Did 2 events on Tuesday, a private meeting and a phone call. And Noki wrote, "Claps, Hercules, Hercules. Aw, how does she get the big girl badge this week?"
They're always telling us, not showing us. That's their whole thing. Like,
Yeah. That's because they don't actually want to do anything of substance. They just want to look like they're doing something substantial.
yeah. And even that's hard to pull off for them.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
They don't care. They just slap on a wig and
They slap on a wig.
shine their buttons, and that's it. That's their whole preparation for anything.
Yeah. It's like Zakiya was saying, we look at the buttons. We don't hate on the buttons like people hate on Meghan. We were like, oh, the buttons are dumb. But then we move on. We're not obsessed with...
I'm a little bit obsessed. Like,
well, it's your job to do that, but it's different.
yeah, it's my job. And like, I don't hate Kate. I kind of enjoy covering her. I enjoy seeing what she's wearing because she copies Meghan so much. Like, she's genuinely fun for me to write about.
Yeah, she's kind of easy.
She is easy. Like the Kardashians used to be easy to write about too.
Yeah, exactly. Because she does the same things in the same way and doesn't change,
A lot like the Kardashians, she's just kind of vapid and superficial, and she's kind of an asshole.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for listening, bitches.
Thanks, bitches.
Thank you for listening to the Celebrity Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you like us, please turn off your ad blocker when you visit our site. You can text us or leave a voicemail at 434-218-3219. Our music is from AA Alto, Maiden, and via Premium Beat and Sound of Picture. Thanks again.